Gibson. I own G6 Retail Renovation. I started this business the end of 2022 going into 2023, and I have about 11 clients with this business. Our goal with retail operations is to support financially their workflow systems, strategize any of their workflows and needs with financial, restaurant, retail, all of it.
What were you doing before you started the business?
I was a chief of operations for a big production bakery in Seattle, as well as a chief of operations for a large coffee company with 18 locations in Seattle, Washington. So I was doing both at the time and ignited a passion of just helping small business owners. So I bridged away from that and kept one of those companies on as a client and continue to push through.
So what made you start the company?
I definitely saw there was a need for a bit of a fractional COO, CFO in a lot of businesses. I have knowledge in both areas and felt that that was the best way I could support a lot of people is to continue the work of just giving them structure and foundation to really build up their businesses and continue the work that they're passionate about. Oftentimes, visionaries can get caught up in the weeds of small details, and this business is really there to support them so they can continue their vision, focus on the work, and have all of the structure in place to do so.
What were some of the challenges you personally and the business faced prior to Starfish?
The biggest challenge is, especially with as many clients as I have, digging through the information in QuickBooks. All the data is there, but I have to really sift through to figure out like how to prioritize things, what to do, like, and give direction right away. That is a big challenge with any business is trying to like you have the numbers, you can reconcile all day, but then the numbers have to tell a story and then you have to prioritize tasks. So that is a huge challenge with so many. Yeah, and understanding what they need and tailoring that information for them.
How did that impact the business?
I think we were missing things. I think when we look at QuickBooks and we're just getting through, we were like so excited that we got through the data. We forget that like, okay, great, that was great. You did great this month, and we're not looking at fine, tooth combing through those small details that could, in the end, save the client money or, improve a process. So those, yeah, that is something that has been a challenge and continues to be a challenge until we partnered up with Starfish.
Can you tell us a little bit about your experience with Starfish so far?
Well, huge fan. When I first started working with Jordan on Starfish, he was telling me, a summary of what this software could do. I was like, yes, wow, yes, yep, that all sounds great. Like all the things that, you can hand a client a P&L, you can hand them a balance sheet, but then they're like, great, what do I do next? This software allows us to build tasks every month. We're not looking at, the profit and loss on a balance sheet being the end of it. Starfish really allows us to like hone in on these things, call out some errors, and go back and fix things. So it doesn't just build conversations, it builds tasks to really improve the overall business's health.
Are there specific features within Starfish that have been the most useful?
Yes. I obviously I've talked about the tasks. The tasks are very, very useful. Benchmark is another one. It's nice when, a founder challenges you on what they're doing and saying, well, you know what? I think I'm doing the best that there is. It's like, well, let's actually benchmark that. Let's see what this is. This is what other companies are doing. And taking a look at that. The costing, the breakdown of, clicking into the profit and loss and seeing and expanding it and seeing where it can, where it was and where we can improve. So yeah, and the wins and losses. It's a very like straightforward way for us to look at one page and say, all right, let's look at the red and figure out, and then we can celebrate the green. So it's excellent.
What changes have you seen in your business in G6 by using Starfish? How has it
It's
impacted you?
It saves time. I think there was a comment once that was like, we saved you, 6 hours of time. You could have flown to Hawaii. It's like, oh man, why didn't I think of that? So just things, things that are helpful is just the time saving and the brain power. Oftentimes by the time I get done with reconciling QuickBooks, I'm like, all right, we're good. But Starfish allows me to think like, oh shoot, nope, there's an error. Seeing that a client might have, paid a little bit more for something, it's like, okay, we need to dig into that. We need to figure out what's going on. So, and there are things like I wouldn't have thought about before. So,
I love that. So it seems like the big two impacts are saving time and then giving clients better reports and better insight. Is that correct?
yes, absolutely. Yeah. It's a low lift for a business like mine and a low lift for any small business to implement this software, and the return on it is amazing.
How would you sum up your Starfish experience overall?
It's great. I've been meeting with Jordan every other Friday, assuming something doesn't come up, and the flexibility and conversations that we have regarding feedback and questions I feel really supported and understanding. I fully can build out users for each of my clients. It's really nice to be able to show them how to, best use the software. So yeah, it's been amazing.
Would you recommend other bookkeepers use Starfish?
Absolutely. It will save you time. It will allow you to have information that you otherwise wouldn't catch, honestly, using Starfish.